Welcome to the Protection for Your Family and Your Business free workshop. My name is Fernando Lopez Jr., and today I'm going to have a casual conversation with you about some very serious things in life. And my story with this topic started last year when my mom became very ill, and I moved across the country to start taking care of her. And within a few weeks, she was admitted into hospice. And with hospice care, we realized that she was not getting very good service. And but we knew that, it wasn't the professionals' fault. We knew that they were doing the best they could, but the system they were running things inside was not was not helping the patient, my mom in this case. So I started looking for legal help, and I ran into a company that they offer for a low monthly price, um, unlimited access to attorneys on all types of matters. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. And some of you, to close the loop with my mom, unfortunately, she passed uh, last month. But she's resting, she's in a better place now. She was suffering a lot. But what I learned with having attorneys um, come in and either via phone calls or letters and give us advice, or send letters to companies on our behalf if we're disputing something, a bill or a treatment or a doctor's office. I mean, it made a world of difference. Um, and I became very passionate about sharing this. So I want to share this company with you. And if you're interested, you can um, become a member like me and start having conversations with attorneys like me and my family. About one a week, we have a conversation with an attorney about different things that we think of. Oh, maybe the attorney can help with this. Like for instance, we're going through a solar dispute in our home where for some reason uh, after mom died, uh, they stopped giving credit to the solar panels. And but the solar panels never stopped creating energy into the grid. So, an attorney is helping with us on that regard with the power company, so that we don't get billed for for someone dying, even though the equipment was working the entire time. Plus, they got the energy into their grid. So not only they charged us for the energy, they also got the energy into the grid. It's fascinating. So, anyways, um, I hope you I hope you get something out of this workshop. I'm gonna go through some questions that came in, and then I'll share the website and a place for you to sign up. So let me see here. I'm gonna share my screen. Share, yes. I'm gonna share screen one. Okay, looks like it's working, yes. So we're going to go down to the questions. So what I'm sharing is the document that some of you put some questions in. And I'm going to go down to right here. I'm going to start with the first one. Question by Daniel. How does the will preparation work? So the will preparation is like answering an online questionnaire. Um, so it's very simple. It's almost like you're typing into a Google Doc like this. So there'll be a question, name, email, phone number, then questions about assets, and then questions about how do you want to distribute the assets? Who do you want the assets to go to once you pass away? And so it's just a matter of answering questions. It's pretty straightforward. Um, it also covers health surrogate, I believe it's called, who's going to make decisions for you if you cannot make decisions for yourself in case you are um, unconscious in the hospital. So the way it works is just answering questions. It's pretty simple. And once you answer the questions on the app, so yes, they have an app or online on their website, it's pretty simple. They'll send you the physical documents printed to your home. And as the first draft, if you like the first draft, you just sign it, and then you have the will package. And you know, some attorneys charge, you know, from 500 to, upwards of $500 to $3,000 for a wheel package. With this company, it's complimentary. I mean, it's part of the service that's less than $2 a day. So this alone is pretty amazing. The wheel preparation. So, great question there, Daniel. It's the way it works is just you answer questions, you get a draft sent to you to your home. If you don't like the draft, something, if you need to make a change, you can make a change. They'll send you a second draft until you're happy. And if you need to update it, you can update it as well. Once a year, no charge. So let me make this one bold so you can, so I know it I answered. Next question by Liz. Does it cover disputes with my car insurance? So it covers any disputes, including with car insurance. Um, the way that I've noticed that attorneys work is they want to settle a dispute outside of the courtroom, so they don't have to go to court. So the attorney will try to have you first communicate and ask for what you want of the insurance company. If they don't give you what you want, then they'll get involved. And so it covers any disputes, car insurance, any type of company. If you have a dispute, it covers. And and the way it covers, even though you're not asking how it covers, the way that you would start a conversation or start a case about this dispute is you would open the app, uh, and start a case or start a consultation, begin a consultation. And they have so many options on the sections or the types of consultations. Just pick one you think is correct. At first, since there's so many sections, I didn't know if I was picking the right section. Don't worry, they'll change it later if you pick the wrong section. And then you go into a window that says, what the matter is, like how they can help. So you just tell the story, and I would keep the story one verb per line. And that's something I learned from an attorney years ago when I used to write a lot of motions that would go to court. Even though I was not an attorney, I was buying a lot of real estate that was going to foreclosure through the court systems in Florida. And I wrote a lot of motions to judges. So one thing I learned about writing to judges or writing motions is to have one verb per sentence. And that makes the conversation, makes the story you're telling very simple to understand, with one way to have meaning, to give meaning to what you're writing. Um, so uh, just keep it simple in what are you trying to explain. And even if it's hard to write something, the attorneys will call you and you can talk more on the phone. So does it cover disputes with car insurance? Yes, it does. Question from Michael. Why is it only $2 a day? Well, it's a little less than that. Actually, for the personal the personal coverage is actually about $1 a day. For the business coverage, it's a little less than $2 a day. So why? In my opinion, is they are looking for they're looking for big cases where they can win big. Okay, they were looking for big cases where they can win big, and in the cases where they win big, they'll make a lot of money. So for the small cases, like my dispute with my power company, um, you know, they're doing it for pretty close to free, in hopes that one day, if God forbid, something bad happens, or I guess something good happens and I need an attorney, I'll count on them to represent me on something big. And then for those big cases, they'll get a percentage of the win. So that's what I think it is, that they'll how their business model works, because otherwise it would not be sustainable. Because an hour with an attorney is usually what, 250 to $500. So and usually my calls with them are about 5 minutes. It's pretty straightforward. There's not, I like it because it's just straight to the point. So I hope I answered the question here with my assumption, Michael. And when I found out the exact answer, I'll let you know. Okay, next, I have a question by Michelle. My mother is having a rough time with the health professions covered by her insurance to give her decent professional treatment. Is this something the service can help? Yes, definitely. Definitely the service can help. In my experience, what the attorney asked me some questions in regards to my mom. And I think the first question was, regarding your health insurance, what other providers are there for hospice? And I found out what other providers were there. And the attorney said, okay, switch providers. But before she said that, she asked me, have you brought this complaint to the hospice company? I said, yes, we have brought this complaint to them maybe 7 times. Okay, and they haven't changed? No, they haven't. Okay, so change hospice companies. Check with your health insurance. Do they have other options? And I checked, they did change, and we changed hospice companies, and it was so much better. So that's my experience, Michelle. For you, it may be something similar, but what I've noticed with the calls with the attorneys, they usually ask me to try to get things resolved, and ask exactly for what you want of the provider, of the service provider, of the company. If you don't, and if you made your request clear and they're not complying, then they'll get involved. So that's what I've noticed is their mode of operation is ask exactly for what you want. If they don't cooperate, they'll get involved. And so far, we haven't had to go to court for anything, any of the, say, household problems with, say, utility companies, uh, some consumer goods that were not good. We needed the money back, refunds, everything that they helped with, it was solved without going to court or escalating. It has been pretty cool. So I hope I answered your question there, Michelle. And next question by James is, could this help me in restructuring debt? Well, James, so what I think this means is that you restructuring either credit card debt or mortgage. And the answer is yes. And I think when you talk to an attorney, what they're going to say is similar to what they told me about. Have you reached out to the provider or to the company? Have you asked them for what you want? and have they, what did they say? If they haven't helped you, then the attorneys will get involved. So the answer is yes, this could help you with restructuring debt. So this is all for that's all for the questions from this document here. And let me go. I'm going to show you the website where you can sign up and find out how to get your life in order with an attorney. Oh, I had this black box here. Let me remove this black box. Sorry about that. All right, so let me plug in my computer here. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. There is in the middle of the screen here, the first option is the legal plan. It's $29.95 a month. This is for personal plan. And this, let me actually click on it. And oh yeah, so if you have a family, like a spouse and kids, or at least a spouse, then you can get this $37.95, which covers you, your spouse, and eligible child dependents. Pretty sweet deal. So instead of each adult paying $29.95, you get a $37.95. And premium, let's see, I haven't looked at this in a while. Oh, wow, this is pretty cool. This revocable living trust here. Amazing. I think most of you will be pretty good with this one here for your families. If you have been thinking about getting a revocable living trust, then yeah, go for it. Go with this. And what a deal, because usually this is like $2,000 or something or more with an attorney. So if you have some, assets that you want to protect, I would go with this one. This one here, the premium. Otherwise, you can go with this one. And if you're single, go with this one. There's also annual plans, and you save $10 on the annual plans. If you have a small business, then what I suggest you do is just sign up for the small business. Okay, sign up for the small business. I do have a small business. So I signed up for this one. I didn't sign up for the personal one, this one here. Yes, so I signed up for this one. And this one, you should be able to, so far I've been getting, every query that I sent them, they answered, and has been, and even though I didn't have the personal, I just signed up for this one and has been pretty good. As you can see, I am a customer, I'm a client, and in my business consulting and in life coaching, a lot of the stress that I felt that my clients had or were going through were, say, not having this piece of the puzzle in their lives. And the piece of the puzzle I'm speaking of is having like a law firm that they could call 24/7 or set up an appointment. Like, for instance, if you sign up right now, you can, within 8 business hours, have your first conversation, your first appointment. So it takes the most 8 business hours from any time, if it's a weekend or if it's a weekday. The most it will take for you to speak with someone to have an appointment is 8 business hours. So you know, if you have something that you want to talk to with an attorney, you can just schedule an appointment for tomorrow after you sign up, and it's pretty simple. You sign up, then you download the app if you like me and you like make things simple, or you can use their website. But it's pretty cool. It's y- um in the past I felt like, man, should I'll think, man, this is this might not this subject matter is bugging me, but I don't want to ask the attorney because I'm embarrassed because it might not be a big deal for them. But it was a big deal for me. So I brought some of those things to them, and they gave me advice and they told me what to do. And at the end of the day, it was, if it's a big deal for me, it's a big deal. It doesn't matter what others think. So if you have things that that have been dragging, either regarding your business or personal, that you haven't been dealing with in a while, sign up and just have schedule your conversations for each of those things. And maybe 30 days from now you have had 4 conversations or more, and you have less things on your plate, less things to do on your plate, and you have more peace of mind. So I hope you enjoyed the workshop. And if you like to see more of these, please let me know. And actually, I want to show you something real quick because I think it's really important. So there's a blog. Let me see if we can go to the blog here. And in that blog, there are many, many um, case studies. I don't know if I should call them case studies. Let me open this. But basically, when I looked at the blog, I started realizing how many things um, people can use. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can share this. Okay. Hopefully you can see my screen. I think it's starting to load. There it is. So let me go back one. Okay, so here it is. So here's the website that you would go to, Fernando Lopez Jr. legalshieldassociate.com/blog. And so here is currently the order. Well, before we go into this each topic here, take a look at the categories here on the right. It's just massive how many categories. So imagine for each category, you could have 10, 20, 30 potential types of conversations you could have, from child custody, civil litigation, consumer finance, credit monitoring. This one it's an extra service. I think it's an extra $15 a month. Data breach, employee rights, estate planning, family law, hacking, homeowners, home selling, identity theft, internet privacy, internet security, landlord tenant, marriage, member benefits. So this member benefits here is, think of it like Costco or AARP. Since there are, I think, millions of members in this company, they get pretty good deals with service providers and companies to offer things that people usually buy, but we get a discount. So think of it getting like a Costco discount or getting some type of AAA discount. So member benefits, going back to the categories: minors, online identity, opportunity. This opportunity here is if you feel like, wow, I could be offering this to other people. Well, they do have an opportunity where you can sign up like me and offer it to people and make money. Back to categories: personal, real estate, small business, taxes, traffic violations, and that's the last one. So as you can see, there's so much, but here I'm just gonna go over the first two here. I believe is their latest articles. Caring for a child with special needs, prioritize state planning. So this is an article specific for people that have child with special needs and how it relates to estate planning. And the other one is protect your wallet, year-round retailer and credit card protections you might be overlooking. So this one is pretty cool. How, credit cards, they have all these types of advantages and benefits that you may not be using. So this article goes into that. So I'm not going to go into them in this workshop, but in the next workshops I will. So I will go into each of these, maybe cover 2 to 4 of them per workshop, so that you can get a better idea, get ideas of how people that might use the service. Because there are things here that I had not even thought of. That by me doing this workshop, I'm learning, like, wow, I didn't know that I could, people that have this type of situation, they could use Legal Shield. So I'm gonna cover this articles next. I hope you enjoyed this overview. And here's the phone number that you can call, 888-884-3350. That number will come to me, that text or call will come to me, and I'll be able to help you out, 888-884-3350. And to sign up, the website to sign up, it's somewhere down below, or you can go to fernandolopezjr.legalshieldassociate.com. All right. I hope you enjoy this workshop, and I hope you and your family are safe. And until next time, be safe and have a great day. Bye-bye.